Hi, this is Chuck Gardner. I live in St. James Plantation, and this morning, July 10th, 2026, a group of volunteers is down here at Waterway Park doing an oyster reef restoration program. This program started about 20 years ago to put oyster shells, discarded oyster shells, along the shoreline to protect the Spartina grass, which is a marsh grass that is salt tolerant, and that is what prevents the shoreline from eroding. So the group of volunteers comes down here about every 6 months or so down to the dock at St. James Marina, and they take bags of oyster shells and then pile them on the reef. And then they take this Spartina grass that the student from the University of North Carolina, they have a program that studies shellfish. And there's a group of 12 students down here that are helping out and supervising the volunteers. There is also a group of about a dozen different presenters who are here to help make people more ecologically aware. The story with the oyster project is that every oyster filters 50 gallons of water per day. So when they filter the water, it becomes cleaner. So it has a great ecological benefit. So it's a worthwhile project that I got involved with right after I moved in St. James, doing these videos to help promote it. Okay, here you can see the volunteers are putting down the fresh bags of oysters and also planting the Spartina grasses. There's another group over on the other side here doing the same thing. Excuse me. Okay, here you can see the volunteers are putting down the fresh bags of oysters and also planting the Spartina grasses. There's another group over on the other side here doing the same thing.
so much. Okay. I'm sure it's fun. And listen, I'm not a professional myself, but we have a very young marketing director who's making us do all of this. It's totally not all of us women are over 60 work in this firm, and we have to learn how to do all this new stuff.
Pounding in the rebar to hold the bags in place. This is some of the freshly planted Spartina grass. So tell me about your guys' backgrounds. So you're all students of Troy, or?
Yes.
So what got you interested in this?
I started in the Benthic lab in the fall of 2025 as a DIS student, which is a directed individual study, and so I could get credit for doing research in the lab. And I met Troy because he taught a class that I was taking. And so I started with this whole Living Shorelines project because I was doing research on an invasive crab species that we find in the oyster reefs called Petrolithes armatus. They are invading our reefs due to a combination of ballast water, which is when big industrial or like ships fill up with water when they to do buoyancy control.
Oh yeah.
Shipping.
They pick up all sorts of parasites.
Yeah, and so it holds this crab larvae and they dump it. And then also climate change is causing organisms to polarly migrate where the temperature is more conducive to their limits. And so that's how these crabs got here. And we don't really know that much about them, how they're affecting our reefs. So I started doing that, and now I am an honor student at UNCW, and part of the requirements is to do an honors thesis.
Okay, introduce yourself. What's your name?
I'm Brianne Winfrey.
Okay, and you guys, what's your name?
My name's Stephen Pleasance.
Okay, and your name?
I'm Christian.
Yeah. Okay, back to you. Okay, now I'm from Chicago, right?
Yes.
And the first Earth Day in 1970, I was clearing out a pond in my scuba gear, right? And so I'm aware, like there in the Great Lakes, it's a real problem with the zebra mussels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm familiar with what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I am continuing to do my research on this crab to try to understand more about it and how they could possibly be negatively or even positively affecting our oysters here.
Yeah. Well, I've got a video on my channel. My channel is Teddy Cabachon.
Yeah.
It's named after my dog. I was down here a couple of years ago and got a video of a crab eating an oyster.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
The crab that I'm researching is a filter feeder, so they filter the water just like our oysters do. And one of the things that we're worried about is them filtering out oyster larvae. And if the larvae is eaten, then it can't settle.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Trey. Let me chug it or dump it and give you this.
I'm gonna correct you. It's Troy.
I couldn't read that name tag.
Oh, I'm also left-handed. Thank you, ma'am.
You got a minute?
Just a second. What you need?
I want you to introduce yourself. Hold on a minute. Okay, introduce yourself and this gang of volunteers, students you're working with.
So, I'm Troy Offen. I'm a benthic ecologist with UNCW in the Department of Biology and Marine Biology, and I work at the Center for Marine Science. And what we have here is the St. James multi-generational living shoreline group. and they're planting marsh grasses and building and repairing oyster reefs. To date, I think this is our 30th total build. And this group has put somewhere around 40,000 marsh grass seedlings in, and probably half that many bags of oyster shell, but they've gotten just about a kilometer of living shoreline built.
And how long have you been working on this project in Waterway Park?
Ask me that question again.
How long have you been working on this project in Waterway Park? When did it start?
So we started this project 2005. We haven't done a build here every year, but we've done some event here every year since 2005. A gentleman by the name of Taylor Ryan was the first to contact us and coordinate with us, us being UNCW, to get us to come out and talk about oyster shell recycling. At that point, there was a big community outreach to basically get UNCW engaged, and so they've supported students ever since 2005 to come out here. The students come out, they don't just design and help with the build, they follow it every year. They do multiple research projects around these living shoreline builds. They look at the organisms that settle, they look at how the currents flow around them, they look at how these living shorelines trap sediment, and then they do their own projects. To date, we've had about 230 students do some portion of their hands-on research project at this site.
Great, thank you very much.
All righty.
Okay, here's an example of how the oysters colonize on the shells. The reason they use it at started shells is because when the spats form and are floating around in the water, they need something to attach to, and they attach to shells. And here, this growth here is actually attached to the rebar holding down the shells. And you can see here, these are all the new bags of shells, because over time, the bags of shells sink down into the mud. This is one of the intrepid warriors working on the restoration of the reef. What's your name?
Jeff,
Dave, thank you for your volunteer work.
glad to be here.
Get me, I caught a crab!
Repeat that.
Get me, I caught a crab!
Wow, yeah, well, that's an invasive species I hear, so that you're doing the right thing.
Patience is a virtue.
Howdy.
Patience is a virtue.
This is a reef structure built with a different technology invented by another North Carolina university professor, and it uses a matrix of jute platforms that sit up off the surface of the mud that the oysters also attach to. In the space of about 6 months, it will go from looking like old discarded lawn furniture into a very thriving oyster reef. Each one of these oysters filtering 50 gallons of water per day. These are the invasive crabs that the student was talking about. Now my house is in background there. It's the one in the center of the frame, the gray house behind, in front of the trees. That's where I live. Okay, this is a tray of the Spartina grass that they're planting. This is salt tolerant, so it can be inundated with the salt water. The tide changes every 6 hours and rises and falls 6 feet.
Yeah, I didn't get muddy earlier.
Right now we're at low tide. At high tide, the water will just be under the crossbeam supports on the dock there. The water on this side of the Intercoastal Waterway, which was built in 1930 to protect shipping traffic from Nazi U-boats, it is 12 feet deep. There's a channel on the other side, on the far side over by Oak Island, but this side is relatively shallow. This is where they put the dredge spoils, which is the reason why this section was undeveloped, because this was the area designated for the dredge spoils. And Homer Wright, the developer, built this nice waterway park. It's about half acre in size, and I come down here once or twice a day with a dog. Temperature today is predicted to be up at 92 degrees by noon, so the volunteers here are staying in the shade and hydrated as much as possible.
Hello, we're with Seabiscuit Wildlife Shelter. We're in the director's backyard, and last year we had 900 birds, so we recently moved to a new facility on Long Beach Road where we have a wonderful giant barn where we can house much more birds. As of this date, we have 500 birds who have come through our facility. And we'd love to have you come visit us. You can go to our website, seabiscuitwildlifeshelter.org. We have a tab there for visitation, and you can make arrangements with our person who does guide tours. And we also have our live stream Osprey Cam that was put up in Bill Smith Park, where you can watch the baby birds become flying birds, which they're almost ready to do. So join us and donate or volunteer or watch us on seabiscuitwildlifeshelter.com.
Okay, thank you very much.
My name is Trisha Monteleone. I am the Executive Director of Plastic Ocean Project. Plastic Ocean Project is a nonprofit that was founded here in Wilmington, North Carolina. We have 3 pillars. We have education through research, outreach through art, and solutions through collaboration. And what we do, we have an independent lab in Wilmington dedicated to doing research on plastics in the ocean. These are samples from all over the world, as you can see. We have an art project that has traveled around the United States, educating people on what's happening in our environment and our bodies. And we have solutions through collaboration. And what we do is we collaborate with companies and other organizations to find ways to reduce our use and mitigate the waste in the environment. And one of the ways we do this is trees for trash. For every 25 pounds of trash we collect, we plant a tree locally. And you can volunteer with us. Just go to our website and sign up anytime. We have plenty of opportunities for cleanups, for tree plantings. We have ocean-friendly establishments where businesses can tell us how they're trying to mitigate waste in their restaurant or whatever they're doing, so that we can certify them as being ocean-friendly. And yeah, that's about the gist. Yep. Was that all right?
Hi, my name is Grace Fenwick, and I am a staff member at UNCW Center for Marine Science. The center is a research facility connected to UNCW that supports over 100 marine science faculty, as well as undergraduate students and grad students. We also have public events to teach you guys about marine science and the importance of protecting our coastal and marine ecosystems. So this right here is a model of our buoy, one of our bigger buoys, part of our CORP system, which stands for Coastal Oceanographic Research Monitoring Program. And these buoys are from North Carolina all the way down to Florida. They are funded by NOAA, and they are used by the National Weather Service, reports, as well as the public. So all of our data is free to the public at corp.org, and you can click on a buoy and get weather data, wind speed, different things like that. So if you're a surfer, someone who utilizes a boat, it's a great piece of information to know about and utilize for public safety. So follow us on social media to learn more.
Hi, I'm representing the St. James Birders. We're here at Waterway Park. We have over 200 members, and we do a number of things. We have guided bird walks and independent bird walks. We have 8 speakers a year coming in and talking anything about raptors to osprey to bluebirds and hummingbirds. And we also have bird houses. This is a nut house. We also have bluebird houses that we sell, and lots of information. Check out our website, The Birders of St. James.
Hi, my name is Nelson Bullock, and I'm the Field Operations Manager at the UNCW Shellfish Research Hatchery. So these are some of the species we grow at the hatchery. It's primarily eastern oyster. We also do hard clams and scallops. We have 2 field crew, and then we also have an algalogist, 2 larval culturists that handle all the oyster babies, shellfish babies, and we heavily rely on a lot of the UNCW students to help us out with work in the field and also in the lab. I've been there about 14 years now, and I really enjoy working with shellfish, and yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'm with Coastal Snake Management and also admin North Carolina Wild Snake ID Education, and we're here to kind of show people the different kind of snakes you might find in this area. Today we have all harmless, non-venomous snakes. We have king snake, 2 rat snakes, and a corn snake. So these are kind of the type of snakes you'll see in this area, and these are beneficial and snakes that you probably want to keep around. Like this. At least I won't be, even though some people do. I have tools for that, and I do actually do a lot of relocating with venomous snakes, and I actually have several at home right now that are in the process of rehabbing. So when they're injured, I take care of them, and I can rehab snakes when they're injured. And these here are ambassadors for our programs, so they're used to people, and it's hot today, so they're getting a little agitated with the heat. I've been trying to keep them cool, but it's kind of hard to do on a day it's 90 degrees.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you so much too.
Do you accept volunteers or?
Oh, I'd love to have some volunteers. Anybody want to come along and work with me? Okay, so joining NC Wild Snake ID and Education right here, and you can find me there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Your name is?
Ken. My name is Ken Hackney.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you very much.